Angry Bears fan podcast. Like, follow, subscribe. Please keep it up. We are almost at 10K subscribers. And the moment is here. Week one is coming past, and the Bears shit the bed as they have done the last several week one games. I mean, in prime time as well. Um, yeah, I mean, it's not, there's a lot to say. I mean, kind of at a loss for words, but I'm going to try and put something together.
I am not at a loss for words. Um, so going into this game, we talked about the importance of starting early, really getting on there, and they did. First drive, scripted plays looked really good. Caleb 10 of 10, a touchdown run, everything was great. I think I texted you when it was like 16-7, and they just weren't putting them away. They weren't putting them away. They weren't stepping on the throat, offense and defense both. We'll get into that as podcast digresses. But um, I sent you a message when they just weren't putting them away, and I said, "Uh oh, here we go again." And that's exactly what happened. We'll start with the positives first. Um, that first drive for the offense looked in tune. Like I said, Caleb for a stretch completed his first 10 passes. Defense, the first 45 minutes of that game, missing three starters, two of their corners, two of their star corners, an all-pro corner, TJ Edwards, their leading tackler from last year, and Kyler Gordon, who's widely regarded as one of the best nickel corners in the league. Tyreek Stevenson played pretty well. Deshaun Wright played pretty well against an all-pro in Justin Jefferson. And it was Deshaun Wright who was on Justin Jefferson pretty much all night.
Yeah.
Played pretty well. Adingbo, great game. Great. We were talking about him
That's
all
a great point.
preseason.
That's a good point. I hope that doesn't
He
get lost in
yep,
all this. We were very critical. He
played
didn't do anything in the preseason,
he
but
played a great game. Gravon Dexter showed up a couple of times. Montez Sweat got his name called a couple of times. So there were some positive takeaways. It's sad in this situation where you have and this is kind of getting into the negative, so I'm trying not to jump ahead too far here because we'll discuss all the negatives because there were a lot more negatives than there were positives in this game. You have essentially a rookie quarterback, JJ McCarthy. I know he was a rookie last year, but he didn't play. He was taking his first NFL snaps, his first NFL start on the road, and you had him on the ropes, and you took your foot off his throat. And I feel like this is Dennis Allen as well. Coaching, a big part of the negatives today are going to be coaching and coaching decisions. But Dennis Allen was getting home, rushing for most of the night. When momentum started changing a little bit, it was time to really put the pressure on a young quarterback making his first NFL start on the road, and they didn't do that. And I felt like that was a mistake.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so those were my positives. Like I said, we'll kind of talk about the negatives and stuff here in a minute. What were your positives? What did you like about the game
I mean,
yesterday?
I guess the defense as a whole, they look good. I feel like we've had this problem the last few years that like the defense will play well, and you can only play so long before, like you can only hold for so long and so many three and outs and stagnant offensive drives where it starts to take a toll, and it just I believe Bright got hurt in the fourth quarter as well, right? Third quarter, he left the
Yeah,
game.
it was a calf strain, but he came right back out.
Okay. I'm sure he was banged up. So it just, I would say the defense, and you were right, Dio. He definitely left out, made a bunch of plays. We've been very skeptical of that signing, that if he was going to be worth it. And he plays like this every week, I think that it was a good signing. But I mean, the offense, Caleb looked good at the beginning. I have been stressing that we got to come out and score, but I didn't like. I'm trying not to get ahead to what I don't
It's
like.
tough.
It's a
It's
lot,
tough.
but I mean, I guess the offensive line pass pro was pretty good.
With the exception of Jonah Jackson.
I mean, I wasn't locked in. I haven't actually gotten a chance to go back and watch the whole thing again. So I'm just saying, like,
Darnell Wright was the highest rated pass blocker on the offensive line this past week. Darnell Wright had an okay game. Um, Pretty good. It was like 77. He scored like an 80 in pass block. For PFF grades, if you're looking into that.
Yeah.
Dahlman and Jonah Jackson had a bad game.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen was all over it. Well, I'm just saying, it looked good. I guess, again, I'm just trying, just the defense. The offense is just stagnant. I like the first drive, obviously, but Caleb back to his old bad habits. I didn't see a lot of Ben Johnson designed up, get DJ Moore open, a lot of like curls and outs. Like, where was the motion into like a drag where he catches it with the momentum?
There was
Loveland was
plenty of that.
Loveland was non-existent. Just I don't know.
Well, like I said, there's not a whole lot of positives to really look at it. We'll start diving into the negatives a little bit. You mentioned motion. There wasn't a whole lot of motion. There was motion every single play.
Well, I'm just saying, like into like
Every
something quick,
single play.
into like a quick stuff, and
I
somebody getting
get
open.
that. I understand that, but a lot of it, and here's the thing: I'm not defending the game. The play calls were fine. This falls squarely on Caleb Williams. We were talking. This was our concern coming in, and this is all we've heard throughout camp. And a lot of the articles and stuff that are starting to come in about maybe Caleb just doesn't want it. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he loves being a football player, but he doesn't love football. The work ethic isn't there to get better, because he's got happy feet, and you see it in a lot of his throws where it's like he's mini chopping in motion where he's not getting his feet set on a lot of these throws. There was a perfectly called screen pass to Roma Dunze that would have had tons of yardage, but he threw it 2 yards behind him, and Roma Dunze had to drop down, pretty much behind him to catch the football before it was a fumble. There was a ton of overthrows. Caleb Williams finished the game 60% completion after starting 10 for 10. That's a problem. The 4th and 3, in the first half, wide open DJ Moore.
Wide open. Yes, that was concerning.
This
on a
is
slant,
a throw to Cole
on like
Kmet.
a slant too. It's
Yeah,
like it wasn't like it was a corner.
He missed the easy throws, and this is the shit that we were getting on Justin Fields about, was missing the easy throws. And
I feel like Dustin too was like he was missed time. He was not throwing it. That was his problem. Is like he wouldn't pull the trigger. Caleb's pulling the trigger, and it's just wildly inaccurate. And
his accuracy is an issue 100% right now.
The arm talent is there, obviously, but even like I feel like his best passes he throws is when he's running full speed to the right and fucking jump throws it, and you know what I mean. He throws it on a rope, but when he's 3-step drop, boom, get rid of it. A lot of those times, like you said, he's got happy feet.
When he's playing within structure, the accuracy is not there. I don't know what it is, but it needs to get fixed. And I feel like Ben Johnson is the right coach to get it there if he can get it there. Now, I will say this. The run game has got to get better to set up those play actions, especially under center. The run game wasn't there. You can't have your quarterback, who's not Justin Fields, lead your team in rushing. You just can't do that. DeAndre Swift was running hard, but a lot of it was not there. There wasn't a whole lot of holes to run through. Minnesota's a really good run defense. They're a top 3 run defense in the league. They're a top 5 defense overall in the league. So, it was a little hard to get things going. However, again, you can't have your defense go out on the field after 3 and outs and 5 and outs. You know what I'm saying? You can't sustain drives in the second half and put your defense back on the field right away. In the fourth quarter, they were gassed because of all the time they were spending on the field because the offense couldn't get anything going. Caleb missed easy throws. Caleb tried to do more than he should have, and that's a problem. That is a problem. I've been a Caleb defender. But if this is going to be a trend, especially past the bye week, there's no defending that. And I feel like Ben Johnson's the kind of guy that's going to go up to Ryan Poles and say, this ain't working. He's got to go. If he can't get the system right, if he can't make the easy throws, I feel that something's got to change. And it's a shame because he's got all the talent in the world, all the talent in the world. But if you can't make the easy throws, you can't be a quarterback in this league. It's just the arm talent's there, but there's plenty of guys out there that've got rocket arms that only a couple of handful of guys in the league can make. But you know what? Every quarterback in the league can make those easy 5-yard slants on 4th and 3 to DJ Moore and those slants to Cole Kmet. Every single one of them can make that throw. That's why they're in the league. So that he's got to get those easy throws. He's got to get that accuracy. The interesting stat that was getting passed around today was a completion percentage due to overthrows, and Caleb Williams leads the league over the last year and 1 week by 17%. It's like 32% or something like that is his incompletion due to overthrow. And the next nearest person's at like 15%. So he's got that whole thing by 17% by himself. Just in the second half alone, it was like 43%. That's a problem, and it needs to get fixed ASAP, especially week 2 divisional game, another divisional game, this time on the road against a pissed off Detroit team that's going to come out swinging.
Yes, and
there was
can you fix it? Is inaccuracy something you can fix in between weeks, like in one season? Like that was my concern. It's like, yeah, if it was the play calling, that might be something you can fix. Somebody getting happy feet and throwing bad balls, like how do you work on that really? And it's disheartening to see we put all our eggs into this Caleb basket and it's not panning out. And you see other teams who taken lesser guys and just built a better team around them, and that seems to be working better. And that was always my concern in the long run of this. Like, we're hoping that Caleb is Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Or
the only thing I can say positively right now this week is that it's week 1.
Yeah,
you needed that game, but divisions and playoff hopes and seasons aren't won and lost in week 1 in the NFL. Now, if they come out against Detroit and he completely shits the bed, because one game's not a trend. 2-3 games in a row.
You're right, but this isn't one game. This is week 1, but this is literally the same trend we've been doing.
I understand that.
Same thing.
But this is week 1 under Ben Johnson's coaching. Last year with the issues and the horrible decision making by the front office last year. I'll give it a couple weeks with Ben Johnson. If this continues to stay that way with Ben Johnson as the coach, then Caleb's the problem. It's reality at this point. The reality is the reality. So if he can't fix these issues within the next few weeks, and I'm not saying he's got to be perfect. I'm not saying he's got to turn into an all-pro the next few weeks, but we got to see better than 60% completion percentage, and we can't see 40% overthrows. We can't see that. He's got to make the easy throws, and he's got to improve upon his accuracy in that aspect.
The O-line does need to step up, though, not to burn past that. It's just we couldn't run the ball at all. Minnesota can have a good D-line all you want. We still got to be able to put up 60, 70, 80 yards rushing. We don't got to go for 150, but we have to be able to establish it. I think Swift was running hard. I think he was missing some holes.
He missed some reads.
I just think it was an all-around bad game outside of the first 10 to 15 plays re-scripted for the offense. The run game wasn't there. Again, I don't know if it was bad designs. It was all Caleb. I just think it was a mix of both. Like, I didn't like some of the play calls. Yes, Caleb was wildly inaccurate, especially when it mattered the most, too. It's like one thing to throw an overthrow when nobody's open and you're trying to, you just throw it away, basically. Maybe your guy gets up and gets it. But that pass to DJ Moore just was right there. Great play call. You got to make that throw if we're going to win the division, win positive games, anything. It's because we've got a guy who can make those throws. And we're sitting around watching guys who are supposed to be less talented than him playing much better. And I guess J.J. McCarthy didn't outplay him, but J.J. McCarthy, when it mattered, made the plays that his team needed to win. And that's what we need from Caleb. Not a good first 10 scripted plays, but when it counts to come through. And he showed a few flashes last year in some of the comebacks, and some got, we came back and there was a Hail Mary afterwards, but we need it in the offense in rhythm. Like, we can't count on you scrambling around doing dumb shit and that working. Like, you can't draw that up. We can't take that to the bank. Like, we got Ben Johnson, we've got a great receiving core, we've got a quality line. Even if they don't play great, they're the middle of the pack or better. And that was just a horrible outing against a rookie quarterback who we had on the ropes. We played like shit, bad penalties. There were a few bad calls, but that's football. You gotta go into the game knowing you're gonna get 2 or 3 penalties called. That you don't think were penalties. So as much as I didn't like those calls, and I do think they kind of shifted momentum, that's football. That's going to happen every game. You don't know when that's going to happen, and that's why when you have opportunities to put teams away, you need to, so it can't come down to
Absolutely.
it. And
Absolutely agree.
that's what happened in that game. Ben Johnson and we could not convert on third downs and fourth down. After we were up 16-7. We have to score again, and it's like Kevin O'Connell outcoached Ben Johnson. And we already knew this. Kevin O'Connell is an amazing coach. Hopefully Ben Johnson will be too, but he just outclassed them in the second half on both sides. Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell they outcoached Brian, and Caleb didn't help. Obviously he could have played better, and maybe if all those passes were accurate, it would have been different. But there's just a lot of blame to go around everywhere.
There is absolutely, and special teams is not absolved from that. We kind of forget the third phase of the game a little bit. A conversation needs to be had about Cairo Santos.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down. I forgot to mention
it missed a 50-yard field goal. Which granted he should have never been in that. It should have never been a 50-yard field goal to begin with because of one of those phantom calls that you made. But when your coach tells you to kick it out of the fucking end zone, and again, this isn't just on Cairo, this is also on Ben. You know that he doesn't have the leg to do it. So tell him either kick it the fuck out of bounds or throw Tory Taylor in there, the one who does have a leg, to kick it out of bounds. But Tory Taylor is also not absolved from this. Minnesota got a lot of momentum because they were able to get these punt returns, and they were starting their possessions essentially in positive territory, anywhere from their own 45 to the Bears' 45-yard line, because while he could kick it a mile, it's a line drive. He's got no hang time on these punts, and this is a 4th-round pick that Ryan Poles thought he was outsmarting everybody. He was like, hey, I'm going to take this punter because he's a weapon. He's got no fucking hang time. And then on top of that, you allow a block punt. So all 3 phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams, left a lot to be desired on the field last night. It was from top to bottom, it was a failure. So we got to have that conversation about Cairo Santos. He can't make it. He can't make it through the year. If this is going to be a continuous thing now, this is like the Robbie Gould curse that we have ever since getting rid of Robbie Gould. We've been kind of stuck with mediocre kickers and stuff like that. And I know Soldier Field's not the easiest field to kick in, but dude on Minnesota, Reichert or whatever, Will Reichert, who nobody had even heard of last year when they signed him, kicked a 59-yarder right down the fucking middle, with a couple of yards to spare. It was a beautiful kick, and I know not everybody, no kicker is going to be 100%, right? But he's got low trajectory on his kicks.
Cairo's got to make a 50-yarder. He's one of the kickers in the league who gets paid real money. Half the kickers in the league are off the couch guys who, who are just out there making the minimum or barely more than that. Like, he's getting real money. He's got to make that kick. And like you said, if it was coaching or what, he should have kicked it out of bounds, whatever. But it was a bad game all around by everybody. The defense, I think, played well.
They did.
They tried. Maybe they just ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. So kudos to them. They were outmanned. They were missing 3 starters and 3 of the leaders of the defense. Not,
Absolutely.
Our best corner, like Kyler Gordon, a good safety, blitzer, tackle he's got, and TJ Edwards, our leading tackler. So that can't be lost in all of this. But big game. Ben Johnson versus his old team versus him. a divisional matchup. They just had a really bad loss, and they've got a lot of weapons on offense, and they've got a really good pass rush. So the offensive line's got to get together because Aiden Hutchinson is going to be gunning for Caleb, and hopefully Ben Johnson knows how to attack them well based on the history with them. But we've got to. It's just looking bad, and our worst nightmare is. I love to bring it back up, but Justin Fields looking good on a new team with a new coach, first time head coach. You know what I mean? A team that sucked last year, and it's like because they're scheming up plays for him. We got this player. We're going to plug him in. He's going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be Josh Allen. He's going to be this and that, and it's not panning out like that. We don't have the roster for him not to be a top 10 quarterback. That's the real problem. It's like they built this up to where we need him to be valuable, very valuable, not just some guy on a roster who we could possibly drag along with us. We invested a lot into this, and I expected more from Ben Johnson this week. I didn't see good coaching things being done. A lot of just.
I mean, I'm gonna give him a pat. It's his first ever game as a head coach. I'm not necessarily saying it's you, but I'm tired of the people expected him to come in and be fucking Andy Reid with the Chiefs. You know, that's not how it's.
No, I mean, I expected the team to be ready.
As a head coach, can we temper expectations just a little bit? We think this guy's going to be fucking Norv Levy and all these fucking Hall of Fame coaches and shit like that. I understand he had a lot of praise and he was the top guy on the coaching cycle, but you can't expect them to come in here and fix everything that's broken with the Bears and then expect them to turn around and be a Hall of Fame. You can't do that. You know what else happened? Matt Nagy in 2018. What happened? We played a division rival, had a good first half, collapsed in the second half, lost the first game of the season against a division rival, and we still finished 12-4 that year.
We had a really good team then. We had a top 5 defense. This is what I was talking about before the season is this is going to happen. We were going to play bad, and the excuse is going to be last year was Caleb's first year. This year is Ben Johnson's first year. 2 throwaway years. It don't matter now because Ben Johnson's a rookie coach, so nothing he does matters. And Caleb's young.
I'm not saying it. Not everything he does doesn't matter. What I'm saying is you can't sit there and say I expected more of Ben Johnson. How could you have expected anything?
We had 13 penalties, and he's supposed to
coach the game in his life. How could you expect anything?
He was offensive coordinator. I expect the offense to be better. I expected to be for more from there. I didn't expect us to get so many penalties on offense.
His play calling was good. Discipline-wise, sure, I'll give you that. You can't have 12 penalties and 127 penalty yards. You can't do that. That falls on coaching. I will agree with you there. Caleb not being able to throw a fucking football 5 yards in front of his face, that's not Ben Johnson. That's Caleb Williams.
So what's the difference between this week and
Can
week
he fix
12?
It? What do you mean?
What to expect from Ben Johnson?
What
can I not expect in week 12? Can I expect?
You can expect improvement.
Okay. But I can't expect winning and us being good.
I'm not saying you can't expect winning, but you can't sit there and be like, I expected more out of Ben Johnson. What
I expected to win this game.
You wanted perfection game.
No, I wanted to win this game.
It wasn't going to happen.
I know that. I wanted to win this game. That's what I expected.
I wanted to win that game too, but it's not all on Ben Johnson.
I mean, it's not all. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is. He's the head coach. That's what we put it on.
Things fell apart. And yes, it needs to be corrected. But it's week 1. Let's give it some time. If you said what's the difference between week 1 and week 12? If this shit is still going on in week 12, then we have a big fucking problem. But it's week 1.
But what I'm saying is like recognizing it in week 1 is a good start there to fix it then instead of like I don't. It was just he was stone faced.
One summer to fix all the problems. One training camp to fix all the problems. Come on, like it's got you have.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I essentially agree with you. But what I'm saying is, this is my problem. Is like this season has become.
I know what you're saying.
Ben Johnson rookie season, where like at the end of the day, we're gonna go. Well, there were so many problems he couldn't fix them. He's a rookie coach. Let's get him next year. You know what I mean? We got Ben Johnson in his second year, Caleb in his third year. we're really gonna get him. Like, I just feel like it's same shit that we were hearing last year. Oh, we're gonna get a new coach, offensive minded to
it's
get with
been like this.
Caleb, and it's gonna take the next step. And it's
It's
like,
been like this since what 2010 was the last time they won a playoff game. The last winning season was in 2018. So I mean, look, here's the fact. This loss hurts all around. There's no excuses. You know, we can argue back and forth. And here's the thing. Here's what's so polarizing about the Bears is that we all get our hopes up. We all this is we're starting to sound like fucking Cubs fans. There's always next year. There's always next year. Or we're starting to sound like Dallas fans, where this is our year. This is our year. Um, this loss hurts all around, and we have to be able to seek improvement. This game becomes very, 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 very important against Detroit on Sunday.
and I
I
want to
think
point
we're
out
all in,
some.
I
It's
think
like
we're all in agreement on that.
we're seeing guys across the league who we should have too playing well, and not just Justin Fields. Keenan Allen, why the fuck didn't we re-sign him? Like, what was there? He wanted to stay here. It was reported he would stay at a discount. There was only one or two places he would stay. We just let him walk, a potential Hall of Fame wide receiver who caught, 90 balls for us last year and was basically a number one receiver. We let him walk, and he goes, you know what I mean? He goes, steps out, and has a great day. And what was our problem? We couldn't convert on third down. We couldn't, and Caleb had a little bit of connection with him. It's like, I understand you got Luther Burden. So what? The more the merrier. We're building a franchise. We're building a team. Why can't we have Luther Burden and Keenan Allen? Like that's where it's like, I don't know. I thought we should have got somebody else to run. We should have looked somewhere else at running back. We knew Swift is I think Swift is more of a change of pace back. He was good on the Eagles and a little bit on the Lions, but they had really good offensive line. They had maulers out there who made it easy to do it. Swift just really can't get anything going in the run game unless we're giving them big, obvious holes to run through. And I just every year I'm just pulls a soury on me at every turn. It seems like he's making the wrong choices in free agency, questionable choices in the draft. Like the best thing he ever did was a slam dunk trade that got thrown in his lap. Draft Caleb, who I'm not going to say bust because I think he is like Kirk Cousins at worst. You know what I mean? He's mediocre. He had a mediocre year,
But you know what though, and I heard this and this is from Sylvie from ESPN Radio, earlier today. This is the biggest fear, and this is one of his fears right now is that Mitch, when Mitch was drafted, he was the guy. When Justin was drafted, he was the guy. When Caleb was drafted, now that Caleb is drafted, he's the guy. There's a very good scenario where Caleb is the worst out of all three of them. It's very real possible scenario.
that was
And
what
if,
I always said.
if that's,
I
and
knew
if that's
Justin.
the case, then Ryan Poles really set this franchise back.
And that was my, like I said, with Justin, it's like I can point out his flaws. Obviously, he's not amazing, but at least we could have built a super team where we could have picked up a veteran quarterback, plugged him in, and we could be okay. Like that was what I always wanted to do. I said, roll it out with Justin again. Pass on Caleb, get Joel, get whatever you can get in the draft. And if Justin sucks, you go get Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers would have been in free agency. Maybe he would have wanted to stick it to the Packers. Like who know? Like who knows? Or you draft somebody, you build them, you end up getting a Bo Nix. We could have got JJ McCarthy. Like, but our roster wasn't good enough to be looking for the next Messiah. And like you said, Mitch was supposed to be the guy. Justin was supposed to be the guy. Why can't you be like, all right, Justin isn't the guy. Let's build a super team. Maybe eventually it'll turn into it. I think that's what they did with Hurts. They were like, okay, we'll stick with Hurts. He's pretty good. We're the Eagles. We build good teams. And then he turned into the guy. And there's always been an argument of would he be on a bad team? Would he be really good? But I just think we're too focused on we were trying to get Mahomes. And that was always that I felt like we were locked in. They're like, that was the rumors. Caleb was the next Mahomes. He won the Heisman. And the talent's there. I won't argue that. We see him and we see the flashes, but flashy core like Mahomes doesn't win Super Bowls making flashy plays. He makes
we
those.
had we had the same discussion about Justin Fields. The flashes were there, but they weren't consistent enough. And we were having the same conversation in year three of Justin Fields as we're having in year two of Caleb Williams. If it continues, then yes, then it becomes a real issue. And that's like I said, that may become the biggest fear is that you took a guy number one overall and quite possibly fucked yourself.
And
And
not only that, and he passed on basically three other guys who look like they're at least NFL quarterback. I mean, it's too early to tell J.J. McCarthy, but Drake May looks like he's got it. I mean, maybe he's not going to be Josh Allen, but he looks like Bo Nix looks like he's going to have a nice long career. He might be a Kirk Cousins type, but somebody who's going to play a long time in the NFL if the team, the coaching's right. And Jaden Daniels looks like a stud. You know what I mean? We passed on him, and you know what I mean. Justin Fields is in his second act of his career. If he keeps trending, you know what I mean. If he's any good, if he's Geno Smith, it's still going to be questionable. Like you could have just kept him and you got Joe Alt, who's going to be a Hall of Famer if he doesn't blow his knee out. Um, I don't know. It's just polls has soured on me, and I know I'm a Justin apologist and all this. I just looking back in hindsight, and obviously it's 2020, and it's easy to talk about this after the fact, but it just seems like he made a lot of bad choices. Whether it was Roma Dunze, which I was tough on him about, a lot of the free agent signings, I'm really just confused about. On top of letting the Packers get fucking Michael Parsons, we had the assets when we had the cap flexibility, the no, you know what I mean? We got no true number one wide receiver making true wide receiver one money. We got no quarterback making number one quarterback money. Montez Sweat's like the ninth highest paid DN. Like we had room to like, this is what he said it. He said, we need to extend the runway to where we can do shit like this. And he's not doing any of it. He's not jumping out there. He's trying to make safe signings. I like the Joe Thuney trade. I mean, and there's some mediocre things I like that he's doing. It's just like certain things where we had to hit, he didn't hit. He didn't get us a pass rusher. As much as again, I like Roma Dunze, we really didn't get anybody at that pick who's really been an impact on the team. Like Rome's made a few catches, but could Darnell Mooney not have done that? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, insert another, you know what I mean, guy we could have paid a few bucks to come in and do that. Is Rome doing anything some journeyman or veteran couldn't have done? Not really. And we've got problems at left tackle. We've got problems in the pass rush. It's just, and then we extended polls. It's like,
yeah, I still don't get that one. Like
and,
I understand you want the timelines to match up, but you know when you've won 15 games in 3 seasons, you don't really deserve a fucking con. You still had 2 years left on your deal.
and
Like
Caleb
why would
hadn't shown anything. Like
like
it'd be one
why
thing
would
if like Caleb was the rookie of the year. Rome really panned out. He really slam dunked that draft. We got a few. It's like okay, we got Ben Johnson, but it's like, what did he do? Like he really has not done anything to earn an extension outside of getting Ben Johnson, and it seemed like Ben Johnson wanted to come here, so it kind of fell in his lap again, like the Caleb trade. So he's just getting lucky, and maybe Warren likes him or whatever, but it seemed like we've got the mediocre GM again that led us to get the quarterback who really isn't it. He missed out in the draft where like I said, it's Mitch all over again. Maybe, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is going to be Mahomes, but we take some guy early and two or three guys after them turn out to be, you know, multiple time Pro Bowlers and, you know what I mean, franchise quarterbacks. And we got the guy who was all flash and can't hit DJ Moore on 4th and 3 wide open. It's just yes, it's just shitty.
a lot to be desired, man.
Yes, and it's just it's a punch in the yeah. It's the same thing happened. We lost week one last year. We lost the Packers with Justin. It hurts week one. We come out division opponent. They've been talking a big game in training camp about how well they're going to do, and you're right. Yes, I guess my expectations were too high, but I honestly expected to win that game. JJ McCarthy's first game, Monday Night Football against Dennis Allen, and it unfolded really like we wanted to. He made some great plays when it counted at the end of the game, but he had like 150 yards. He rushed for like 30. Like it was, and their run game, they didn't have 100 rushing yards between Mason and Aaron Jones. So it wasn't like they were just fucking kicking our ass. It was bad, like you said, bad special teams, stagnant offense, and we shit the bed. And a mediocre Jason McCarthy doing what he did in Michigan, which it just make the right plays, don't make mistakes. And he made a big mistake, and we still couldn't. Like
it's because middle of the third quarter, the run game got going because the defense was gassed,
yes,
because the offense could not sustain a drive. And that's what happens when you stick with the run. I think the Bears had a total of like 17 carries between DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift. It was like 17 carries for like
That's another
yards.
thing before we close out. If DJ Moore is getting multiple carries, why the fuck are we signing a free agent running back? There was multiple veteran guys. It's like, who cares to come sit on the bench?
Kyle Monangai was healthy. Who
Yes,
caught
but
a
what I'm
pass?
saying, I know, but it's like, why are we not giving him the ball then?
I have no idea. No
Like,
clue on that.
I don't know what
No
Ben
clue
Johnson's
on that.
doing. Like, I didn't really like anything that was going on, and that's why I was so disappointed. And right, it was his first game. Who knows? I mean, I can only imagine. I can only imagine the butterflies and the second guessing your first game, Monday Night Football for the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field against the Vikings. Hell of a way to start the season. But I, I'm just being consistent because I said this before the season started that I wasn't going to do this. This is Ben Johnson's first year. We're going to give him a pass because then it's like this whole season's a throwaway now. And it's like we did all this for nothing, and to do this because we did it last year. Okay, it was a rookie, fine. As much as even though they said that he was better than what we had, fine. He got the I'm a rookie pass. Now Ben Johnson, oh, he's a rookie. So it's like he's gonna get a pass in the whole season, and then people are gonna say, well, this is what he inherited. These aren't his guys. He didn't draft any of these people, and then we're on to quarterback number 4. Is Tyson Bagent coming in? Like Caleb seems like a request to trade type of guy. Like I don't know. This is week 1, and maybe the sky's falling. I mean, hopefully we get a nice bounce back game. We usually play Detroit pretty well. It's usually a good game up until the fourth
Well,
quarter.
that's the thing is that I understand there's a lot of emotion going into this game week 2, but Detroit did not look
No,
good.
no.
They did not look good at all. And, Green Bay's offense aren't world beaters on offense, but their defense is good. But their offense, you know
I
what
mean,
I'm
Matt
saying?
LaFleur is just a great coach. I think he
Yeah,
schemes up a
their
lot of.
offense, yeah,
of
their offense is behind their defense in Green Bay. But they're not world beaters. But they beat the shit out of Detroit. Detroit just did not look the same without their coordinators. And maybe we're getting Detroit at a good time where, okay, they're still trying to find their way as well with new coordinators. So maybe we do get lucky. I do want to say though, real quick, that Green Bay, we may have written off a little too soon. Um, they, like you said, Matt LaFleur is a great coach. I had some, factor cap stuff that I had written down earlier today, but I left my notes at the shop. And one of them was, is Green Bay the team to beat? And these are just week 1 overreaction kind of thing. Factor cap is that, is Green Bay the team to beat in the NFC North now?
I mean, 100%. I mean, ever
With their
since the
week
Micah
1
trade.
going, and it seems like they are. Matthew Golden looks as advertised as wide receiver 1. Jordan Love's going to be middle of the road.
Yeah, 15 to 10, top 10.
I don't think he'll ever be a top 5 guy,
MVP, no.
but you know what I'm saying. But he can be a fringe top 10 quarterback in my opinion.
That's what,
Josh
yeah.
is good as a great
Top
running
10, top 5
and
running back, yeah.
they got their defense and they got Michael Parsons. Minnesota, if JJ McCarthy can be just a game manager like he was and just kind of ride that ship with Minnesota's defense and with Justin Jefferson, that's
In the
all.
run game.
And then once you get Jordan Addison back, they're just going to take off even
And Kevin
more.
O'Connell's a great coach. He's got guys who are
Absolutely.
way less talented than JJ McCarthy and had them playing great. So Ben Johnson's got a lot. So I mean, look, it wasn't going to be easy. And Bears fans are Bears fans. I'm like, we're and I guess it sucks for him because it is his first year, but we're tired of hearing the excuses. Poles has been here for this is what year 4 now.
Yeah.
And we're tired of hearing the excuses. So yeah, sure, Ben is a rookie, but I mean, Caleb's been here for 2 years. Ryan Poles has been here for 4 years. A lot of these other guys have been here for longer than that. We just don't want to hear it anymore. We were told this is when the rebuild's supposed. This is like the peak of where it's supposed to be at right now. Maybe next year, but this is where like we're really supposed to be and seeing the fruits of his labors. And I mean, again, week 1 overreaction. Minnesota's great defense. Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, great coaches. But it looks like last year all over again. With a little bit better of a defense, but Caleb's got to get it together. I mean, he's got the whole franchise That is like if he doesn't make it, we're set back. Like unless Tyson Page
Absolutely.
and we throw him in there and for some reason he just takes off and he's good. I mean, I know we love him, but yeah. And like I said, we're stuck with Ryan Poles. They really fire. I mean, if Caleb's a bust, I'm assuming he's getting fired no matter the extension. But yeah, week one over or under reaction. I don't know. Like I said, I just depressing the way I mean, Monday night, last game of the
It's
week.
very, dude. It was a kick in
I
the
won
nuts.
both of my fantasy games, which was good. I won some money too, but I won a bunch of money on the Ravens game. But it just it just sucks. Like just not.
Buffalo, Buffalo, man. Let me tell. All right. So now that the Bears conversation is over, I want to go over Week 1 of the NFL just real quick. Okay, we talk about Week 1 overreactions and stuff like that. Um, so I'm gonna run down a couple of things because I memorized a few things that I have for my factor cap. So real quick, we'll play this. We already did the one with the NFC North. Factor cap. This is the year that the Kansas City Chiefs do not win the AFC West.
Oh, I would say Cap right now. Again, it's week one. It's tough. They lost week one last year to the Lions. I mean, the Chargers did look good though. Justin Herbert's good. I'm a big Jim Harbaugh fan. I think he's one of the best coaches of football there is alive right now. And Justin Herbert's amazing. I mean, the arm talent's there. Keenan Allen still look good. Like I said, it was really upsetting to watch him play so good when he sat in free agency so long, which, in my opinion, I'm assuming he was waiting for the Bears to make him a fair offer. And they dropped the ball. And he's going to catch another 90 balls and, maybe misses a few games. Obviously, he's not what he used to be, but it's just bad decisions. But I do think the Chiefs still, I think they'll be okay. They're without their wide receivers. A couple guys got hurt early. It's just, they figure it out. Andy Reid's a great coach. Mahomes is the future, either best or second best quarterback to ever play. And Kelsey's still Kelsey. He's a Hall of Famer as well. They've got a good defense. Chargers are good, just a good team. It's a little bit old.
Second one, factor cap. Buffalo is the team to beat in the AFC.
I'd say Cap. I mean, it was an amazing comeback, but I think the Ravens just kind of took their foot off the gas and kind of that was just some crazy way to end the game. I think they didn't think. I think they thought they had it won, and just everybody got in the wrong mindset. Derrick Henry fumbled, but no, I don't think the Bills are the team to beat. I don't think they got enough talent. They don't got enough talent on wide receivers. Defense is banged up. They got a lot of young guys in the secondary. Pass rush really wasn't that crazy. I mean, they just are they gonna be able to score 50 points every game? Like,
No,
I don't know if
probably.
that's yeah, exactly. I mean, are they gonna get? They're gonna be giving up a shit ton, I think. But they did. I mean, Josh Allen. It's one of those things where you're like, Peyton Manning's better than Tom Brady. It's like, yeah, Mahomes is doing all the winning, but Josh Allen is a guy. Like that dude is amazing at football.
He is. I know
It's
the clip that they showed of him just like directing the offense and then like going behind his back and telling James Cook which way to run. That's a guy that understands the
yes,
game.
he's getting better every year, and he was already uber talented. And like as
Absolutely.
he gets older and wiser, and he's still so young. Like if you
Yes.
say he's getting older, like I mean, the way these guys are playing, as long as he doesn't hurt himself, he's got another 10 years at least of like being top tier. It's like, I mean, and Lamar special too. I mean, it's just those guys are really good at football. I think
Final
the
one of the night. Are you ready?
yeah.
Factor cap. Everybody may have written off Aaron Rodgers too soon.
That's I will say fact on that, myself included, because he looked great. I mean, and to be fair, we've seen a lot of people go play quarterback at the Jets and it be a miserable experience. So maybe it was just a Jets thing. I mean, he is Aaron Rodgers. I think he wanted to show everybody, and he looked really good. I mean,
Is Pittsburgh a playoff team?
if he plays 75% of what he played, then yes, because they're going to have an elite defense. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. They run the ball. if he plays, like I said, 75% of what he played in week one, then yes, they are definitely going to be a playoff
He
team
made some throws against
that
the
we
Jets,
thought that
and
they couldn't make anymore. But
the
like,
Jets defense is no
it's pretty
joke.
good. Yeah.
He made some throws in that game on Sunday where I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
I agree.
because
I
he
think we
comes
all read
because
him
he
off
comes
because he was being a
because he
little.
comes to Soldier Field like week 12 or whatever it is, and we have to see him again. And I like when I was watching that the rollout touchdown pass to Calvin Austin, and he did his whole fist bump thing. I was like, "Fuck!"
Yes, you
I
thought
was
that
like,
was a win, and it's like,
"Yeah." I was
yeah,
like,
I do
"That
think the world wrote him off. I think they
that's
didn't
not
like him because
good."
he's a prick, and then he tore his Achilles, and then he was on the Jets, and for whatever reason, uh, we blamed it on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm sure he played his part, but nobody's had a quality experience at quarterback in the Jets, and almost our entire lifetime. Um, so maybe it was just that, but he did look good. I mean,
He looked good.
and if he's playing half to 75% of what he looked like week one, then they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. The Steelers are always quality defense. They play great, and Mike Tomlin's an excellent coach. They don't lose games. Like I said, we were what we're used to, accustomed to, with bad decisions and bad special teams and guys not kicking it out of bounds when they're supposed to, not calling timeouts when they're supposed to. That's not going to happen on the Steelers. And it'll be interesting because it was Tomlin and Rodgers' last hurrah. If, like, this didn't work out, I think Tomlin, you know what I mean, the Steelers are probably going to be moving on. This works out, you know what I mean. Maybe they don't change coach often, but I think if this didn't pan out, they were going to move on. And I honestly, secretly in my head, I thought they signed Aaron Rodgers to make it like a tumultuous, bad final season where that Mike Tomlin couldn't even get him to 500 because of, too much distraction of a circus. But it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I mean, again, week one, maybe we're all wrecked, and maybe it was just because they were playing the Jets. Who knows? Um, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers was fun to watch.
That's all
And
I
again, as much as we don't like him, I don't like seeing guys. I don't want to like guys seeing going down in their low points. I like to see him go out. He didn't got to win the Super Bowl, but show us that that was a fluke. But that's all Tom had. Like, follow, subscribe. Hopefully next week we have a lot better mood,
a
a
lot
lot
more
better things to talk
positive
about. Yeah,
to talk about when it
yeah,
comes to the Bears. I
yes,
will
and
definitely bring my notes, and I'll have a week 2 factor cap for the NFL, not just Chicago Bears related, because I think I like talking about the NFL
a
as a
little bit, yeah, a little bit
whole,
more.
you know what I'm saying? Just kind of give that a little bit of injection in there. Plus, there's not too much going around with Chicago sports at the time. NBA doesn't kick off till October, which, speaking of which, Josh Giddey signed a 4-year, $100 million extension with the
Yeah,
Chicago.
not bad. I mean, it's a little much, but I mean, the Bulls had to keep him. I mean, got to start
They had
somewhere.
to. They
Yeah, I
had
mean,
to.
you got to do something. I mean,
There
I
are
like
some
Giddy.
rumors. There are some rumors swirling about a possible John Morant trade.
That'd be
Just
crazy.
very small things that
That's
I'm
what the
hearing.
Bulls. That's the type of thing the Bulls need to do. I mean, I thought years ago when Russell Westbrook left the Thunder and went to the Rockets, I thought the Bulls should have. They didn't want to trade Kobe White for him or some shit.
You've been on that hill. You really
I
have
don't.
been.
That's the only chance they have is to get some guy, ex superstar who's kind of down trending, and hopefully to get a rebound. I mean, maybe Bucelis takes the next step, but I don't think maybe he's got a couple All Stars in him, but I don't know if he's going to be a superstar. Who knows? He's got the body for it, but
They
um,
need to trade for John Morant.
yes, I do
I will
think
say
they need
that.
some John Morant
Factor
or
cap. The Bulls need to trade for John
yeah,
Morant.
that's fair. Or like
Like
some
that.
people are saying Jalen Brown might be on the block because with the second apron and all that shit, once Jason Tatum gets healthy, the Celtics got new ownership. They're not going to be one to pay all those guys on the money. So there's rumors that the Celtics will have some few fire sales. I think the Bulls should really be all in for somebody like Jalen Brown. But we'll see how it goes with the Bulls. I'm not even ready to talk about the Bulls, the bullshit they got going on. But again, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you next week.